Hello. Yes, you're
Hi.
recording. Hey, Simone. Yeah, so you're a musician,
Yes.
and what else do you do on music?
Yeah. Besides being a musician, I consider myself a little bit of a designer. I'm always putting different aesthetics together, whether it's what I'm wearing or an environment. I also run a record label in Minneapolis. It's a pop focused, well, an alternative pop focused record label because I really want to see my scene here flourish, especially within the pop realm. So that's also what I do. Run a lot of different events. Getting connected with other musicians is something that's always fun for me. So yeah.
Nice. That sounds super exciting. How long have you been into music? How long have you
Uh,
been creating music? So,
how long have I what? Sorry.
how long have you been like a musician?
I feel like my entire life. Like
Mm.
I can't remember a time where I wasn't singing. Basically, my first memories were of like my parents telling me, "Okay, go sing." Like, like I always knew that that was something that was fun for me to do, that was special to me, that was important to me. It's just kind of ingrained in who I am as a person at this point. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It must be quite fun. No, it must be a lot of fun to perform your music that you've created.
absolutely. It's beyond like performing anything else. Like I used to do like, cover songs when I was little and musicals and talent shows and that's nothing compared to creating something that's near and dear to my heart because I created it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so when was the last time you performed one of your songs?
The last time I performed one of my songs, what like publicly, I think was oh gosh, I want to say it was November. I think I did an anime convention in November,
Mm.
but it might have been Halloween. But it's been a while. It doesn't feel the best to have that long of a period of time. Normally, I have like everything booked out for like half the year in advance. So
Mm.
yeah.
Mm. So do you produce your music as well?
I do. Currently, I co-produce my work that's released. I just don't feel like my skills are up to par yet to release completely something on my own. I could, but it would be just not the quality that I want. And I'm getting there, but not there yet.
Yeah. You collaborate with other producers and engineers and all that.
Yes, yep, exactly. And those co-producers are normally my close friends.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Have you worked with anyone from London now? Like, just out of
I mean,
curiosity.
I'm
Yeah.
totally open to it. In fact, I had planned in April to go to Germany and London because apparently my music does really well in London. I get a lot of royalties from London, so I
Nice.
was planning on going and seeing what was up, but not yet. You know, not
Yeah,
it's not in
yeah,
my near future.
yeah, yeah. So,
Totally willing to do it digitally.
okay, okay, yeah, yeah. Thank goodness for technology.
Yes,
Yeah.
truly. It could not have been a better time to have technology.
Mm, mm, mm. I just wanted to ask you. Obviously, everyone's been affected by this global lockdown.
Yes.
How have you been dealing? How have you been dealing with it?
It's been pretty difficult, honestly. I feel like the first week wasn't really real. It was like, okay, cool vacation. But then as it just continued, it was like, okay, there is literally like nothing to do. And I mean, that's not true. I do work from home still, but just having to self motivate yourself to get up in the morning, knowing that you're not going to see anyone. And I'm an extrovert, so it's hard for me, especially, I feel like just not having like anybody to bounce ideas off of or share and spend time with and experiences with. It has been difficult for my mental health. but slowly getting accustomed to it. It kind of feels like being a teenager again, and you just are home, but constantly. So, yeah, it's been hard. I don't know. I've been trying to connect with other
Well, you,
musicians. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah. No, you
Go
first. You
ahead.
first.
Okay.
No worries.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to connect with other musicians and kind of like build a sense of community through all of this, and staying connected, building out like how to keep on track social media wise. I've been trying to be a bit more planned about it, which has helped because then at least I have like a plan of operations to attack every day instead of just like kind of waking up in the morning and be like, okay, it's this again. So that's helped quite a bit. And then just reaching out to people, letting them know that like I appreciate them. I support their work. I've been applying for grants for my record label, and I've gotten some of them already, which is great because just being able to like give a little bit of money to each of my artists is like beyond what makes me happy is supporting them, and knowing that like I'm always going to have their back, regardless of what happens, even through a pandemic. Like I still want to show them like, hey, you can be a musician and you will still like be funded. Just continue doing what you're doing and create your work. So I feel like it's hard for everyone.
Yeah, it's quite tough. So
Yes.
have you picked? So have you gained? So besides from the obstacles from this
Yes.
lockdown, have you gained or learned anything from this experience?
I mean, definitely. I think number one, what I've learned is that a lot of what I thought mattered really didn't. When it came to like meaningless interactions or going to work every day when you really didn't need to be there, like walking down the street and seeing all of the stores closed, I just noticed like no one was entering these stores in the first place. Like Verizon or other uh, like phone carrier companies, like that, where no one ever is in there. Um, like no one needs to be within those stores. It's just taking up space for like empty, like for emptiness, and we could be be utilizing more areas in better ways. I feel like is what I learned. Um, I feel like I learned that I was on autopilot most of the time, throughout my daily life, and just like interacting with people like, how are you? Fine. How are you? Great. Like, and then just like never see each other or like have a meaningful conversation, with the majority of people that I'd run into, until I would meet up with close friends. And I want to spend more time now throughout all of this creating real communities, um, and not just like doing things to get people through the door, not just creating spaces just for the sake of taking up space, but truly utilizing and having meaningful experiences with people is what I'm learning throughout all of this, and like really giving attention and honor to the time that I'm spending. And I hope that other people are feeling that too.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's a really good time to just sit down and reflect, and obviously like to prioritize like who you spend your time with, or who you spend your energy with. Um, yeah, it's like a massive like reset button, and
Totally.
I appreciate how like how it can be affecting people's mental, and yeah, I think it's super important, obviously, just to be productive and like just like just make yourself happy and just spend time with people
Absolutely.
that make you feel like good, and like have good like productive like relationship with, or like just positive like just friends or family, all these type of people, or the right people, obviously the right people.
Definitely.
um so have you been reading like any books or like watching any films during this time?
I haven't
anything
been
to share?
reading any books. I've been reading articles, studying up on things that I find interesting. I'm really into biology and sexuality, so a lot of the time I'll be like looking up different things anatomy wise and hormone wise. I've always found really interesting, and so there's an endless amount of knowledge that and like research that can be done with that. So I find that fun. Um, but TV wise, I just got done watching Steven Universe. I like cartoons.
Okay.
I've been watching a lot of Netflix.
Mhm.
You know, I've watched Tiger King like everybody else.
I
You
I haven't watched that, so
haven't watched it? Oh, okay.
I know everyone. I know everyone's talking about it,
Everybody
but
talks about it.
so yeah. So
I
I
only
don't
saw
know.
the
I want
first
to. I don't.
episode.
What's that? So what's that?
I only saw the first episode.
Okay. 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 So it's like
But
a
it is
reality.
pretty interesting, actually. I would continue watching it, but honestly, I feel like I don't watch that much TV. Like, if anything, I try to fill up my day with like getting outside, um, making music, working from home is a big one, um, and keeping up on social media. And planning out social media. Like, I really try not to spend too much time consuming a lot of like TV shows, content. I
Mm,
could read more books for sure. I probably should. Um, but I just remember like that I did that because it was a way to escape reality for a long time,
mm,
um, which is fun. But I could read more nonfiction.
mm, mm.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
You seem like you read a lot of books. You
Do
like the
I?
way you
Oh,
come
okay.
across the weekend. So yeah. Yeah. So,
I mean, I love books. I really do. My father is a writer, so I mean I can't not love books. It's just the amount of time. So I guess I do have a couple books that are like actually on human sexuality. Like I have one that's like a book on human sexuality and biology from the 1800s, and it's just interesting to kind of like go back to that and see uh, what the societal norms were and what was thought of as human sexuality and biology and nature back then, compared to now, and how we haven't really come too far in some areas. Um, but
mm,
it's not like I sit down and read like for extended periods of time like I used to anymore.
mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm. I read like in 20-minute chunks, 30-minute chunks. I can't read for too long, maybe an hour max. So,
Right. I think
um,
that's the way to do it.
yeah, yeah. In the morning, I just read a bit, and then I do whatever. But
Right.
what does your dad write? What does your dad write? What type of stuff does your dad
Oh,
write?
he writes like young adults fiction novels, fantastical and
Ah, so
fantasy novels. Yeah,
sick. Oh,
yeah.
that's sick. Oh, nice. Nice. That's awesome. Very creative family.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
Uh, mm, mm, Is your mum into the arts as well?
My entire
Okay.
immediate family is into the arts. So my mom is a dancer and a gymnast, and
Oh,
yeah, and my parents are both actors. And so
God,
they
that's
met within like the theater world. And then I have one younger brother, and he is a prodigy violinist. Like at 8 in the morning every morning, it's just like crack of dawn, violin practicing. I'm like, oh my goodness, like it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
it's constant. So
Oh wow. Oh wow. That's amazing. Actually, that's
yeah,
so,
no, he's incredible.
uh, awesome. That's awesome. Uh, so what do you have planned? You know, when all this blows over, what would you have planned?
Oh gosh, it's hard to plan anything really. But I I'm expecting for this to last for a long time. From the news that's coming out, it's estimated that concerts won't be a thing again like they used to be until 2020, the fall of 2021. So I am applying for grants right now to connect different key leaders within the Twin Cities area, the Minneapolis area, to kind of come together and create something that will help foster a digital era of music, as kind of a digital festival, let's say, / conference. Like I would love for First Avenue and Laserbeak of Doomtree, other pop artists, like just every like pivotal character and person within each genre to kind of come together, as well as bringing up people that are just starting within the scene, because I mean the scene doesn't grow unless you bring people from the bottom and raise them up. Bringing them together and bringing critics together and photographers and journalists and having them all be a part of this event to kind of, I don't know, kickstart everything and just get everyone connected. So then by the time this all blows over, everyone's at least familiar with each other and knows that we participated in something online and then can again in physical life. That's what I have in the works right now. Outside, if I don't get that grant, because I'm expecting that I'll need quite a bit of money to do that, I still plan on continuing with Placebo, my record label, and creating social media plans for my artists, encouraging them to create content, promoting their content, and I always am there to fund their content and find different areas of revenue for them to boost their works. And so that's my passion, and I'll be doing that. I'll be creating my own music as well throughout all of this, and even if this doesn't blow over in the time that I want it to, I still will keep on track with releasing my content and helping to push theirs. Yeah.
And the visuals, like, do you have like much music videos out on YouTube or anything? Or?
You know, I don't have. I could always have more music videos. There was actually one that I just got done shooting in February, early February, and it's near edited. I was on track to release it actually just a couple days ago, but now I'm holding off because everything promotion-wise kind of fell apart. It was all connected with like an event and with a popular music video article here in the Twin Cities, but that sector of the article has since disbanded because there's like a lack of funding and all that, of course. So now I'm pivoting and trying to refocus, like, what are the areas that people are paying attention to now? Like, how can my music video get the most views and traction? Like, I want people to see it. That's the whole reason I created it. And so kind of creating a new plan. I think maybe June will be a good time to release that. But yeah, I'm actually looking myself for a new camera and just ways to create more content that's on a professional level, because normally I reach out to photographers and videographers for all of that, but social distancing, and I mean, I can stand 6 feet away from a photographer, but I don't have plans to connect with too many people outside of like my family and close people that I know aren't going outside, like in social areas. Yeah, so I definitely plan on releasing more content, music videos on the way, probably June, but nothing's set in stone yet.
Okay. And how long have you been like a professional artist? Like, you know,
Professional. I mean, professional is when you get paid for what you do, right? So I would say I've been professional since I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
dad made me, well, he didn't make me, but I told him at a young age, because I mean, I was like born into this world knowing that I wanted to be a singer. And so I told my dad, hey, I want to be a famous singer. How do I do that? And he was like, all right, here's a Yellow Pages, back when Yellow Pages were still used. And
Wow.
he was like, okay, now look up every community center, nursing home, venue, and you're going to tell them that you're 11 years old and that you want to perform and what your rates are. And I was like, I can't do that. I'm 11. He was like, that's why it's going to work. And so I was getting, I was getting more money back then than I was when I started coming out with like my own content. Like being
Oh,
11 years
wow.
old,
Wow.
I went to
Yeah.
like nursing homes, community centers, like small venues, and I got like, I don't know, I would get like maybe like $200 sometimes, and I would sing three songs. I would sing three
Oh, wow.
songs. I would
Oh,
sing
wow.
I
Wow.
would sing Britney Spears, Les
Mm,
Miserables, and
mm,
Grease, the musical.
mm, mm.
So, yeah, I've been
Oh,
professional for a long time, but
yeah, yeah.
the nature of
Yeah.
which
That's
I've been
cool.
professional has, of course, changed as I haven't been 11 anymore
Yeah.
since then.
Yeah.
So, um, but like 11 to 14, let's say, I was performing for a good chunk of time, and then teenage angst kind of took over. And
Mm,
then I stopped for a bit.
mm,
And
yeah.
then I picked it back up, I would say, when I kind of had like a newfound like inspiration. Like I can do this,
Mm,
I can create my own content, and I'm just gonna figure out how. Because there aren't really a lot of resources to figure out. I don't know if anywhere there are to figure out how to do this all on your own. Um,
mm,
so I just connected with like people that I knew were producing in the area that I wanted to explore, which is like electro pop. Um, and then I'd say I was professional again at around 19. Yeah, is when I started like having like my own content. So
mm,
it was like
mm.
back in 2013, 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
How would you selling your music? Like how did you reach people? How did you like an audience
Oh
about
gosh.
um
So you're gonna like
actually I'm
this one.
curious about I'm just curious, yeah.
No, no, yeah. So it's hard to create your own audience. And thankfully, I have a very eccentric stage manager. Um, so he's a family friend of mine. His name is Michael LaFleur. He goes by Shiny Daddy on Instagram. He uh, encouraged me like once I was like back on track at like 19. He was like, all right, we're gonna go out and you're just gonna like start performing like any and everywhere. Like you're just gonna crash it. It's me at festivals, venues, events like that you're not even supposed to be at, and you're just gonna start performing. And so uh, I was all decked out in like full costume outfit wear, and I had a battery powered amp with me that was like super loud. Like it's a Roland Street Cube. They get super loud. And so I would just have that on a little hand cart that I would drag around with me with a microphone, and I would just start singing until I'd get kicked out of places. And that
Mm,
created a lot of hate for me. But when people hate you, it comes twofold back with like the amount of support and love from other people. So
yeah.
I quickly created kind of a name for myself that way. Like aren't you that person who was singing and you got kicked out? But I started that way. Social media as well, and just staying connected with people that way, inviting people to like house parties and meeting people, reaching out to any and every venue that I could find and get my hands on or find out about. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Like how I started, and then just continuing to build from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going back a little bit.
Yeah.
The house parties. How
Oh
did you
yeah.
start with the house? That sounds quite interesting, actually.
Oh
So,
gosh.
who would
Yeah.
you invite? What will come out of the house parties? That sounds quite interesting. So,
Yeah.
what's happened at these house parties?
So, like the first one started when I was 19, and I wanted to like really like have a crazy 19th birthday party. And this was back when people actually came through to your events on Facebook. So I was living at a duplex at the time, and had to convince my landlords who lived there that I had everything under control. And I asked if I could use the entire space. Like I lived on the top level, and there was a bottom level, and then there was a shared basement. And I was like, "Hey, can I use the entire space? Like this is gonna be a big party, but I've got it." And they were like, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna work. And then on the last day, I was like, "Hey, like I have a plan. Like I laid it all out, like PowerPoint presentation style." And I was like, "This is what's gonna happen. I've got it under control." Like I had to come and fight for my right to party. So I secured the space, and I had invited over like 800 people, and let's say around 250 people showed up.
Oh, okay.
And the place was trashed for sure. Um, but it didn't matter. Like I still like cleaned everything up. It was fine. But I took a large amount of time like separating each floor and level into like different aesthetics. Like I wanted to create different spaces for different people because I think that's fun and there's different moods you're going to be in. So like top level is going to be like more of a chill hangout space, atmospheric. The attic had like a blanket fort going on. The basement was where all the music and dancing was happening. And then the bottom level was, I don't know, more chill hangout kind of space, but a little bit more thrashy. So yeah, I love throwing house parties, but I haven't been able to do it for a while since I've been living back with my parents now.
Yeah.
But definitely want to do that again. Like I'd love to, like I'm looking into owning property and being able to throw my own like warehouse style kind of events.
No,
But
I was interested. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, I was interested in the party because I was like, did you use the parties to promote your music?
Oh, I mean, of course, but at that time it wasn't about my music per se yet. I didn't have too much to show off yet.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
yeah, but it was more so to like just get in touch with everyone, and I love meeting new people and hosting. So it was for that at first, but I mean I would definitely take advantage of situations if I was meeting other producers, musicians, or people that ran events, getting connected. But I mean, eventually, once I had a collection of works to show off, I would use every opportunity. Like if I would throw an event, like that's what I did with starting Placebo. So Placebo used to be like my event series that I would kind of use to help promote myself. Um, but it was just an event series, and I would bring different artists in and have full lineups and all that. But eventually, I learned that what I enjoyed most was promoting artists that I actually cared for. And so then I made it exclusive, and now it's just a collection of 9 artists, including myself. And yeah, so I mean, I definitely took advantage of the like different events, but I mean, there's always an opportunity to take advantage of, and if you take advantage too much and every time, people are gonna get bored.
So you ran quite a few of these events.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like
And
I
is it,
no, sorry, go ahead.
no, the label. No, no, label. Like, I'm assuming you got like a small team that help you like
Yeah.
run the label and everything. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
yeah. Yeah, no, I have a graphic designer who's just freaking incredible. He just like came through one day and reached out to me on Instagram and asked if he could make some posters for my events, and they turned out incredible. I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Not expecting anything.
No, dope.
And and now I'm just like, yeah, you have to be like on staff with me. You're too awesome. And so he's there. I have a social media curator, director, who has a background in journalism. And then I have Kelsey Joe Geiger, who is like a kind of a pivotal member of the music business industry here. She works with a lot of the booking agencies and venues in the area, and so we co-run the label together.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, it's super fun. There's no way I could do this all on my own. Like, and having their support and supporting them is what makes me happy. Also, we used to have these brunch events every month, where we get all the artists together and all the staff together, and we'd just like have mimosas, have brunch together, and then like do workshops on like what we would be doing for the month and how we would kind of attack the scene and promote each other. But we can only do that online now. So
yeah. Okay. For the people out there that want to learn more about your work, your music,
yes,
your creativity, where can people find you on social media?
They can find me mainly on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm keeping up on now. If they're looking for my music specifically, basically any streaming, anywhere you find music is where you'll find me. Bandcamp is where you can directly support me. Spotify, if you want to add me to your playlist. Yeah, YouTube as well, like any and everywhere, I feel like. Yeah.
Nice.
And under Sim.
I'll put a link. What's that?
And under Sim1, of course. Or No One But Sim1 is where you'll normally find me.
Okay, I'll put a link to your to some of your social medias and the description of this video on the YouTube channel. So I'll do that so people could find.
Yeah.
I
also have a website like that I update as well at nonebutsim1.com if they want to go there too. Is
the website the best place to go for people to find everything?
that'll have everything. Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'll link your website to the description then. That's cool, no problem. Yes. So, any last words for anyone that's watching? Like any words of wisdom or words of advice or anything?
We are in this together, and the best thing that I found that helps me has been connecting with other people. Like even this today is like totally brightening my day. Like I woke up for this today, right? So so just reaching out and connecting with other people is we belong to each other, you know. So that's what I believe in, and that's what I'm gonna continue supporting. So yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I appreciate your time. Thanks a lot, Symone, and enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll keep in touch. And just crack on. Just carry on with what you're doing already. Like you obviously know what you're doing. You're super creative. I love your page. That's why I reached out to you anyway. But like, so you're super creative individual. So just crack on. Like, just carry on doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much, David.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. I do.
Yeah. And obviously for everyone out there and yourself, just take care of yourself, stay safe, and yeah, just take it easy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right then. Yeah. 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 Cool. Yeah. Until next time. Yeah. So
Until
take
next
care.
time. See
Yeah.
you.
See you. Bye.
Bye.